Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and in today's video we are looking at repairing the Cyborgs toy line. I collect both the Cyborgs toy line that was available here in the UK and also the Henshin Cyborgs and Shonen Cyborgs that you can get in Japan, and as you can see over the years I've amassed quite a selection of broken ones, and it's about time I got to fixing some of these up. On a recent trip to Japan I managed to buy myself a broken but boxed vintage Shonen Cyborg, and that's the one I'm hoping to get all fixed up today, but I've also got some others that I'd like to do some work on. So let's get on with the project. I'll show you what needs fixing and let's see what we can do.
サイボーグシリーズに少年サイボーグ登場。超能力回路のサイボーグヘッド。未来科学のぎっしり詰まった原子エンジン。動く、飛ぶ、走る。精密メカのサイボーグセット。サイボーグ1号が優しく見守る中で少年サイボーグの誕生を今君に伝えた。
So this Shonen Cyborg I picked up at Mandarake in Nakano. It was for sale for 4,500 yen, which is about £25, which may seem a lot for a broken toy, but actually just the box is worth that. This is an original box and I don't have this box in my collection, and that was actually the real thing that I wanted, but the figure inside looked good enough that I think we can do something to it and get it sort of in a displayable state. So let's take this out and we see what he looks like. So yeah, this box is all original, and it even came with the little sort of instruction sheet and collectible bits that you get inside it, so it shows you what you've got to collect because you could send off for free offers. So that's a really nice thing to have, and as I say, yeah, for £25 I would have paid that just for the box. But this is the figure as it was, and you can see we've got a few issues. It is a bit cracked and broken. This is what happens to the plastic on these figures. It gets fairly brittle over many years, and so yeah, you end up with cracks and sort of splits appearing. You can see them in the legs there, and this is what's happened I think to the upper part of him. So there's a few cracks around his neck post. I can see that is actually just about to split, so I'm going to be very careful with that. I'm hoping we can actually salvage that neck post, because yeah, if I don't, then I'm going to have to find another one off one of my other figures. Both of the arms are broken as well. You can see that that has snapped there, but we do have that arm, I think, and again I think we can possibly salvage that. Plastic weld does work quite well with this. I'm hoping we can salvage that. We've also got this one here which is broken at the elbow. That may be harder to fix, but again I'm going to give it a try. So yeah, let's take this guy apart, but even taking him apart is awkward because of the way they are constructed. If I just remove his head there, he's only held together by 2 screws which are on the back, but those screws have been covered over, so I need to take those out, and the only way to do that is to sort of carefully drill into them, put a screw in and try and pull the little plugs out. It does sort of damage the plugs and we won't be able to put them back in, but it's worth doing to try and save this figure. So yeah, let's get the drills out and see if we can get this apart. But yeah, the poor chap is just about falling apart. I can see there's cracks all over these pieces. That headpiece is loose and is going to fall out. Yeah, he's in a sorry state, but I reckon from the body down he is in very nice condition. So yeah, I'm hoping we can do something with this. Let's give it a go. So the goal with this is to drill some very small holes just into these screw covers. I've got a drill bit here in my pin vise which is about 1mm. I'm hoping I can just drill a neat hole into those. And then I have a hook here with a screw on the end of it, and I'm going to try and screw that in and pull out the piece of plastic. I've done this a couple of times before on the UK versions and it seems to work quite well. I've not actually done it on the Japanese Shonen Cyborg version, so let's just give it a go. But if we can get those 2 screws out, then you can actually take the top part of this body apart. I can get to the neck and repair that, and we can either replace these upper arms or fix them. So yeah, let's do some drilling and see if I can actually get those 2 little covers out and get this figure apart. And there we go, that's one of them out. These are tiny little covers, they're just little clear plastic discs, but with those in the way you can't get to the screw. So that's the first one out. That worked really pretty easily. Let's do the second one. Ooh, and that one just came out with the drill bit, so even easier. Now we can take this thing apart. So just 2 screws here. If I undo those, this top section will fall apart, and yeah, we can then start dealing with the broken pieces. I'm hoping that we can get those fixed. That all came apart really pretty easily, so I managed to get out both of the arms and the head section, and now you can see what the damage is and what the problem is. This whole piece has just shattered. You can see it's in many pieces. In fact, all of the pieces are here, and I think I have all of the pieces, which is fantastic because that actually gives me hope that I can repair it. Now, the great thing with this clear plastic is it does work incredibly well with plastic welds, and I'm hoping that I can actually stick all of this back together. And the other great thing is the other bit of plastic that's in there, this little grey piece, doesn't work with plastic weld, so it means I can put plastic weld on here quite freely and not worry about that piece sticking. It will only stick the bits that we actually want it to stick. So I'm going to do a very slow process here of trying to work out this puzzle of broken pieces, put them in, and then use plastic weld and capillary action to pull the plastic weld into all of the joints and hopefully join this head section back together. If that all works, I can then do exactly the same on these other pieces, because you can see these are broken in much the same way. So this is the shoulder joint, and again, I think I have all the pieces to that, and I'm hoping I can just plastic weld those 2 bits back together. I've already done a quick little test. This was the sort of elbow joint, and those 2 pieces were completely sheared off, and you can see I've actually just plastic welded those together. Or in fact, you can't see, it's actually turned into a pretty good join, but that is now nice and firmly fixed again. So I am very hopeful that all of these broken parts can be repaired. There's a few hairline cracks forming in the front section, so again, I'm just going to drop some plastic weld on those and let capillary action pull those in. We've also got some cracks around the knees. Again, I will do the same thing. And I reckon in the end, this toy will actually be pretty displayable again. There may be a few little hairline cracks that you still see, but he will be a firm, sturdy figure again that can be displayed. And by the time he's back in the box, I don't think you'll even notice. So let's do this plastic welding puzzle and see if we can get this headpiece back together first. And there we go, that is as much as I can get stuck back together. And as you can see, it doesn't look too bad at all. I've got a few little pieces that I'm not sure actually come from this part. They could be from one of the arms, but the overall effect anyway is that this is all sort of working again. And let's do a little test fit. If I put this back in the body, we'll see how well it sort of sits and actually if you can rotate it. So let's just drop that back in, just line that up. And yeah, that is working. So it's a little bit cracked, as I sort of said it would be. There's some little marks on it, but the overall effect is pretty good. So plastic weld is the answer when you've got broken parts on these. Let's try and fix some of the other parts. So we've got a broken shoulder joint here. If I take that piece off, we can then try and attach that again to this. We just have to line it up properly and drop plastic weld in. There doesn't look like there's any parts missing on that one, so it's just a case of lining it all up, making sure everything is actually sort of in the right position, and let plastic weld do its stuff, and I think that should end up looking pretty reasonable as well.
P-O-L-L-O-I.
While I've got the figure apart, I've also stabilised as many of the cracks as I can on all of the other limbs. As you can see here, some of these shin pieces have got cracks at the top, so just a bit of plastic well dropped on those. The capillary action sort of pulls it in, and it should stop it cracking anymore. Obviously, this plastic is degrading, so you know, things do get worse over time, but hopefully that will stop the worst of it. So let's reverse the process of how we took him apart and put him all back together. So it's a case of just slotting a few pieces in and then screwing up those screws on the back and yeah, reattaching the arms. And there we go, that is the first Shonen Cyborg done. At the moment I don't have the correct right hand. I have a reissue sort of closed fist version of the hand which I put in place for now. Hopefully in future I will find some more spare parts and I can swap that out. But as it stands, he's looking like a really nice figure. Compared to how he started, all broken and battered, he's going to look pretty nice when I put him back in the box and put him on display with the rest of my cyborgs. So that is the first figure done. Let's move on to the Muton and King Walder Jr. and see what we can make out of those two figures. So this is the Muton, this is the UK version of the figure. In Japan he's called King Walder or King Walder Jr. The 12-inch version is King Walder and he comes in this sort of muted purple colour, and that's what they used when they made the UK version. But this is the shorter version, and while I was on a recent trip to Japan I found this, which is a reissue of King Walder Jr., but he is in yellow plastic. And what I'm hoping is I can just take parts from this one to finish off this one, because this is the only Muton that I have in my collection. As you can see though, we're missing the bottom of one leg, both his feet and his lower arms, which means he's not the easiest of figures to display. Currently I just have him sort of laying down, but I'd like to get him in a displayable state even if it is using the wrong parts. And as with the Shonen Cyborg, hopefully in time I will find some replacement parts. I do have one of his little accessories here, which is one of the sort of replacement hands, so I can use that. But yeah, what I'm hoping is that all the parts from this will just fit onto my Muton. So let's open this up and see what he looks like. This I picked up in Japan for 3,000 yen, so about £15. I've already got a couple of these, one boxed and one loose, so this one is just going to be a sort of sacrificial one, although it's not really going to be sacrificed because in time I can put all the parts back on him. He's just going to be used to get this figure in a displayable state. Right, so here we have King Walder out of the packet, so let's take some of his limbs off that we want to use. I want to use his foot and the lower ankle on that side. Let's see about putting those on this one. That's interesting. Straight away it doesn't fit. That's a much looser fit. It looks like the tolerances have changed between this original one and then this reissue from the early 2000s. Let's try his lower leg there. Alright, and that one is too tight a fit. I can't actually get that on. That is interesting. They have obviously changed how these are made in all of those years. So maybe I can't use these pieces. The foot I can sort out. I could just put a bit of tape or something around that just to make it fit in. But yeah, that is going to be a bit of an issue. So I'm guessing the arms won't work as well. Let me take the arm off that one. Oh, look at that. I've broken it. That is a very common problem with these figures, as I've shown earlier. The plastic on them is perishing, and I've actually just broken the arm on my figure there. I'm going to have to do a quick repair now before I go any further. Oh, what a shame. Oh well, these things happen. Right, a little sort of detour there because I've had to repair this. I'd forgotten actually that there was a big chunk of that missing. You can see there's a big bit there missing, and so when I pulled it out of the socket, it snapped. So yeah, a little bit of plastic weld there just to repair that, and I need to be a little bit more careful with that one. So I've now got the arm off of the modern King Walder, and again, that doesn't fit. The hole is just a little bit too tight. So yeah, it's going to be not what I was hoping for. I was hoping I could just swap some of these limbs out. What I could do is take this upper section off, which is the bit that I've just broken, and then use that whole section, so we've got the elbow and the lower arm, and just sort of attach that there, because again, it's a bit looser on that fit, so a bit of tape around that would work. But yeah, I might as well just leave it as is then. I'll put that piece back on, and I'll put the sort of extra weapon on that I've got there, and we just need to sort out this bottom leg. The feet I think I can sort out, as I say, so I'm going to take that lower leg off and put that back on this King Walder Junior modern version, and here's just going to go back in the box minus his feet, and then I've got a spare lower leg here that I can use, which is the clear plastic version, so I can put that on this one, which does fit, and then I'll just use those feet like that with a bit of tape wrapped around them, just so that I can display him. And at some point, as I say, I hope to find some sort of original feet and original parts that I can finish this figure off on. So I thought that this was just going to be an easy project where I could take parts from this and swap them onto that, but it turns out that's not the case. So yeah, sometimes you learn things as you go, and that's something I've learned about these figures now, that the parts are not all interchangeable. So I'll get this figure finished off, and then we can look at all of them at the end. And so here we go, here are the finished figures. As you can see, I've now got two fairly displayable figures. They are a mishmash of parts. In the end, I swapped out the hand that I put on this figure with the yellow one from the King Walder Junior, just because the hands tend to yellow anyway, so it sort of fits with the style of him. At some point, I would like to replace all of the parts on this and get him looking really nice, as I would like to do with the Muton here. But as I say, parts for these are sort of fairly hard to come by. You tend to find them in job lots of Action Man pieces and other sort of job lots. So over the years, I will hope to find more bits for these and replace them out. But in the meantime, these are quite nice wabby-sabby figures, and they will go in the collection that I have here of Henshin Cyborgs, Shonen Cyborgs, and the UK edition of Cyborgs. They're all really nice figures, but as I've shown, they can be quite brittle. And you do have to treat them carefully, because as you've seen, things do go wrong with them, but they can be repaired. So hopefully that's what this video has shown you, that you can take a pile of broken parts of Cyborgs and actually turn them into something quite nice. This poor chap here, as you saw, was pretty broken and smashed up at the start, but now he's actually displaying really quite nicely. And I do have a growing pile of broken and sort of repairable parts that I will be using in future. Unfortunately, they're all missing lots of the same parts at the moment, so I'm missing lots of hands and some feet, but as I say, those may turn up in time. If not, you can still enjoy them even in a wabby-sabby state. So hopefully this video has been of interest to you. If it has, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you've really enjoyed it and want to help support me here at toy-polloi, then why not think about becoming a patron of the channel. You get early access to all of my restoration videos, plus access to an exclusive video series called On the Cutting Mat, where you'll see projects and restorations that you won't see anywhere else. So have a think about that, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.